If you're going to use your document camera to create a video of a lesson for your students, the first thing you'll need to do is to find a cord that'll connect your computer with your document camera. The cord that I have is a big long white one, and it has a regular USB port at one end and a more sort of square chunky USB port at the other end. So the square chunky end connects directly to the side of your document camera. And this is the only connection you'll need between your document camera and your computer. So you just plug one end into your document camera and one end into your computer, and you're ready to go. Once you've connected your document camera to your computer, the next thing that you're going to need to do is to open some software to allow you to capture video from your document camera. Within your Applications folder, there's a tool called AVER Plus. You'll notice there's AVER Plus Controls, AVER Plus Management, and AVER Plus Software Updater. We want just the plain old AVER Plus. So when we go to open this application, what it's going to do is it's going to open up a window that'll show us a view of what's on our document camera. So right now, all we're seeing on our document camera is that the computer is hooked up to the USB from the document camera. And what you're able to do in this is to create a video recording of what your document camera sees. So over on the left here, we have this button, and if we mouse over it, it says AVER Vision Record. This is going to create a video of just what the document camera sees. And this is what you want to use. I'll point out to you that down below there's a different that says AVER Plus Record. What this does is it actually captures not only what your document camera is seeing, but your entire desktop as well. So we're going to use the AVER Vision Record here. When we click on it, it pops up this little tiny timing box here, and this is really simple to use. To start recording stuff from the document camera, we're going to click the Record button. And when we click Record, you'll see that the timer starts going. Now this is also going to record your voice from your computer. You don't need to hook up anything separately. So the recording that we're making now will include both the video of anything the document camera sees and your voice talking. If you start to feel a tickle in your throat or you need to pause to turn a page or whatever, you can use the pause button. That stops the recording but lets you pick up where you left off. So we can start back up our recording. When we're done, we're going to click the record button that's now red, and that'll end our recording. That's all you have to do. There has already been a movie file created of what your document camera saw. You don't need to do a file save as, you don't need to do anything else. The movie file, the file that we're going to put in Moodle or that we're going to load up to YouTube, is already there. So at this point now, we can actually close out AVER. We don't even need to save the changes to the project we made. The only challenge now is finding that movie file that just got created, because AVER Plus stores it in a really weird place and doesn't give it a name. So we're going to go into our documents, and there's a folder there called AVER Media. This folder was there when we got our computers, and it should still be there unless you've trashed it. So within there, you would think that our movie would be in the movies, but it's actually not. It's going to be in the AVER Vision. And you'll see that it has a file that's named with a date stamp on it. So I made this one on November 2nd at 8:04 in the morning. So all that we need to do now is take this video and rename it. And we're good to go. You'll notice the extension on this is .mov. That's a movie file. It's a relatively small file as video files go. It's one that we can easily upload to YouTube. It's one that we can load into Moodle. It's a bunch of stuff that we can do with it. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to store this wherever I'd like to keep it. So if you have a file on your desktop, for example, I'm going to store this one in Professional Development. And now I can upload that video when I need it. Once you've captured the video from your document camera, you have a couple of options to make it available to students. One is to load it into Moodle. If you're already a Moodle user, you may know that this is a pretty quick and straightforward process. You have a module within your Moodle class, and you have options to add a resource or add an activity. You can link to a file or a website directly within Moodle, and what we need to do is to create a title for this, how to upload a narrated lesson. And we're going to go to choose or upload our file, and we need to go in here and say upload a file. We'll choose the file that we just created, and we'll select it from the location that we saved it on our desktop. This one we had saved within professional development, and we called it tutorial on narrated document cameras. So we open that up, we'll upload it. It then shows up in a list of all the files that we have available. Here it is, tutorial on narrated document cameras. We're going to choose that file. This same window versus new window, all that does is when the kids go to watch this video, if you choose same window, it actually will jump them out of Moodle to watch this video. If you choose new window, it'll pop a new window open. Save and return to course, and here it is, how to upload a narrated lesson. The other option that we have is to do this in YouTube. YouTube actually sometimes works better for smaller bandwidth connections, and so we can go into YouTube, and up on the top we'll see upload. If you don't already have a YouTube account, you'll need to create one, and it's a quick and easy process. There we'll go to select files from our computer, and the same thing. We'll find the movie file here on the computer, we'll say open, and it starts uploading right away. Within just a minute, it's going to show us here the link where our video will be live to. This link we can put the link itself in Moodle, or we can put the link in our team website. We can put it pretty much anywhere that we want. So here's our lesson live on YouTube. And if we want to upload a link to this lesson to Moodle or to wherever else, if you click on share and then we copy what's here, I can go into Moodle itself and I can link to a file or a website. This is YouTube on Narrated Lessons, and I simply paste the YouTube link in here. Again, I'm going to have this pop open in a new window and save and return to course. So now I have that little narrated lesson in here in two different formats. The how to upload a narrated lesson one, that's going to stream directly through Moodle. The one that's in YouTube will actually link the students to YouTube. Personally, I'd recommend going through YouTube where you can. Kids have more access to it from more locations, and it tends to be a more reliable and faster platform. The last thing I want to show you is if you are a user of Keynote, if you put your lessons in Keynote, how to create a narrated version of the Keynote presentation that you can upload. So if you already have your presentation created, the first thing you want to do is to open the inspector. It's this little blue tab here, and it'll pull up this window. The inspector has all kinds of different functionality in it. You can add animations so the text appears at the times you want it. You can change the appearance and the transitions. The other thing it has is this tab called Document Inspector. Within Document Inspector, there's Document, Audio, and Spotlight. To narrate the presentation, we want to use the Audio tab. So we're going to click on Audio here. Down at the bottom, it says Slideshow Recording. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit Record. When we do that, it's going to take us into a view of our presentation as though we were showing it to a class. So it'll go into a full screen presentation mode, and all of our animations will be present there. Again, you can simply talk out loud to your computer as you do this. There's no need to attach anything else to it. So you can teach the lesson as you would in front of a class. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. We're going to hit record. It'll take a minute for it to go into its full screen mode. But when it does, we'll see that there's going to be a little red dot with a bar. That's telling you how the microphone volume is capturing your voice. So what you'll do is you'll explain to the students, okay, so this is about solving inequalities. The first thing we need to do is apply the distributive property if it's needed. So this gets rid of grouping symbols like parentheses and also fraction bars. So I'm just going to sort of keep adding information into this presentation, and I'm going to tell kids what I want them to see. If I've got a particular slide here that shows, now we've got a lot of terms, we've got some chunks added together, I want to highlight that these are variable terms, and then I want to highlight for them that we have some other terms here. We call those ones constant terms, etc. When I hit escape, that's going to end capturing my narration. And you notice now that the slideshow recording says recorded, and here's the dates. Now this records up to a certain point in the presentation. The next slide here, if I move to the next slide, this one I haven't started recording yet. When I click on the record button to sort of pick up where I left off, it's going to ask me, do you want to start recording from the beginning, or do you want to record and append? So do you want to make a new recording and add it on where the other one picked up, or where the other one left off? So in this case, I would choose record and append. Once this is all done, I've got a file that has some narrations overlaid on top of it. So what I need to do, first I'll save it. What I would suggest in terms of saving space on your computer is to save the narrated lessons separate from the unnarrated ones. So I'll save this as narrated. Now, this I can't upload directly into YouTube or Moodle because right now this is a Keynote file. What I need to do is I need to export this into a movie file. So I'm going to click on export. And up at the top, I have a bunch of different choices and I want to choose QuickTime. This will allow me to create a QuickTime movie. When it plays back, it's going to use the recorded timing. That's the timing at which my voice spoke and I advanced the narrations. The formats here, and this is important in order to have things play correctly, we need to go into the custom formats. And we are going to need to change a couple of things in here. If you decide that you want to make videos from your Keynote lessons, I would suggest keeping a copy of these settings handy. So within the video, it's coming. Within the video, the standard settings that show up generally are correct. What's most important is that we're using the H.264 compression type, and that our frames, we want to be at 30 frames per second, and we want our keyframes to be automatic. Our data rate should be automatic, and our compressor quality, we can use high and best quality. Okay, so pretty much the standard things that show up in the video compression are what we want to go with. The audio is what we need to change. So instead of copy audio, we need to go to mix audio and change some of the settings. If we don't change these settings, when we upload this video to YouTube, the voice and the video aren't going to match. So we need to make some changes. Instead of linear PCM, we need to use AAC. We're going to change our rate to 48,000 kilohertz. Our quality we're going to leave as normal, and instead of average bit rate, we're going to go with constant bit rate. Once we've done that, we're ready to export our video. Notice that now it's going to save it with the same file name, but instead of a .key extension, it's going to be a .mov extension. This process takes a while. So once you hit export, your computer's going to be slow for a little bit. You can do other things, but it's going to be slow for a little bit while it creates the movie file. But then you can upload that movie file to YouTube and or to Moodle the same as you would have with a file that you captured from your document camera.